Hey guys, welcome back to Red Devil TV. Erik ten Hag is on his way to Manchester United. It's pretty much a done deal. Will probably be announced end of May, middle of May-ish, once Ajax, pretty much win the league. Pretty much, hopefully they win the league. Of course, they're in the title race. Look, at this point, everyone's going to be saying ten Hag's here. And of course, look, there's still a chance. Look, I'm pretty surprised Poch has not really been given more of a chance. I said it earlier on this season. I'm quite certain Poch is going to come to Manchester United, and he hasn't. There hasn't been that much information on Poch. It seems like ten Hag is the leading candidate for Manchester United manager. Look, the longer this goes until he's announced, I think we're at a point now where we're near the end of the season. There's no way Pochettino is coming to Manchester United. If it was a bit earlier, we're talking maybe late winter time where it's being dragged out and he still hasn't been announced. And yeah, you can say there's still a chance Poch will be coming. But at this point, ten Hag is the leading candidate and he's pretty much Manchester United manager at this point. I mean, the importance of ten Hag is clear. Would love to see some Ajax players come to Manchester United. There's talks of Anthony, Timber. Look, I think that Anthony, is he the right winger for Manchester United? Is he? I'm not sure. I think we need a balance in our team in terms of wingers. I think we need a player like Sancho to turn up like he had been before his recent form on either wing, left or right. He seems to be a bit more lively on the left, which surprised me this season. I think we need a player on the right we need a good balance. We need a good balance of wingers where when Rashford and Greenwood were playing together, there was a lack of balance in terms of the creativity and, the goal scoring ability. I think with Sancho, he provides both, but I think you can see Sancho as a player. He's a player who is definitely more of a creator, and I think we need a balance of both. Look, I would love Anthony at Manchester United. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he is a Sancho type player in a way. He is like that type of player. But I think, look, no one's going to exclude Rashford at this point. No, Rashford, I think, still has a place in this team. Rashford, I think there are talks to be had whether if he wants to leave or not. But I think Rashford will stay. I think he's a Manchester United player. And I think if Rashford discovers his form back, I think Rashford, he needs to keep his game simple, Rashford. He really does. He needs to keep it simple. He needs to stop being selfish. But what everyone needs to realise is that Rashford is a player who, in my opinion, I think in the next couple of years we might see Rashford turn into a striker, whether it be at Man United or whether it be out of Manchester United. I think with Rashford, he does have the ability to become a striker. He's not particularly good with his back facing the goal. He's not someone who's massively physical, but I think he can develop that with age. I really do, and with experience. And I think with Rashford, he wants to be that player. And what we've seen, even playing on the left, Rashford is this player who cuts in every time, takes on a player, and he's not had much success with that this season, but he's the player who can be tricky when he's on form, and he can be a fantastic goal scorer as much as a creator. I wouldn't say he's that much of a creative player, but he can be when he's on form. So I think with Rashford, it's going to be a tough one. He's going to have to keep in his mind that he's going to be playing mostly on the right or on the left. He's not going to play striker. Ronaldo's still going to be the main star next season if we get Champions League. If we don't get Champions League, he's definitely leaving, in my opinion. So look, in terms of ten Hag, can't wait for him to come. Signings are going to be vital this season. We've seen the likes of, Ruben Neves, who we've constantly been linked to even before ten Hag. We've been linked to him for 2 seasons now, who apparently ten Hag is a big fan of. Ruben Neves, Calvin Phillips is an interesting one. Is Calvin Phillips injury prone? That's an interesting one. He hasn't played much this season. Would we get Calvin Phillips? I think he's an upgrade. I don't think he's the best upgrade for us. I think, look, are we going to get 2 midfielders? So personally, I think we're only going to get 1 midfielder. I think Fred is going to be a player where ten Hag is going to look at and be like, he's going to be useful in my style of football, and I think that's how it is. Look, I think we need a centre back, we need a midfielder, we need a striker, and we possibly need a right back. I think I rate the low personally. I think Wan-Bissaka, I've said constantly, I really like Wan-Bissaka, but he's not the player for this team. He's not, because he needs to develop that attacking output and the attacking side of his game. He really does. I'm sorry, but he's very poor going forward. He is. And Delo is a player who's, what is he, 23? I would say, like I said before, I think Delo, when he gets to his mid-20s, is going to be a very good right back. He may be given a chance on the right. I don't think Delo is particularly a player who lets the team down. I think he's gotten better defensively. He's got a good attacking output. But like I said, in many videos, we've had problems everywhere this season. Defence, midfield and attack. And even De Gea at some points, but De Gea's been our best player by far. So players, we're going to need players everywhere, and I'm really excited if we get players like Ruben Neves. And look, we need a defensive midfielder, but we've seen teams, look, Kante, everyone calls him a defensive midfielder, but Kante's definitely more of a box-to-box in my opinion. I think Kante's a player who can do both, and he's everywhere. He's absolutely everywhere. And Fred, again, more of a box-to-box, and we need someone with Fred. Look, if we had someone like Fred beside him, right? Maybe even like a Ruben Neves. If you had Ruben Neves, Fred, and then Bruno Fernandes in the more attacking role in the midfield, you would have more of a balanced midfield there. But do we need more of a defensive midfielder play? Even Declan Rice, he is a defensive midfielder, but we've seen him many times this season for West Ham, burst forward and get into those box-to-box roles. And not necessarily that we need a defensive midfielder. Not that we need a Matic in his earlier days, or even a Matic now, of course not. But we need a player who can do both. And we've seen constantly, McTominay and Fred, they're constantly everywhere, but they're not good enough defensively. How many times have we seen McTominay out of position? How many times have we seen McTominay? He's not particularly quick, McTominay. His physicality, yes. But again, these are players who are very inconsistent at Manchester United. And I think Fred, for his lack of physicality, lack of pace at times, his sloppiness when tackling at times. Look, Fred is the most inconsistent player in the game, in my opinion. But we need someone like Fred, someone who's a bit tidier than Fred, but someone like a Ruben Neves. I think if you have Ruben Neves and Fred, you're a bit more balanced, but I would still like to see more of a proper defensive midfield play. Someone like a Matic who is going to stay there, control the pace of the game. So we have to see what happens. I would love to see Ruben Neves here, but let's see what happens with these signings. The constantly players being mentioned. For me, personally, I think players are going to cut out this team. Lingard's going to go. Ronaldo's going to go. If we don't get Champions League, Cavani's out. Pogba's out. I think Bailly might go this summer. Where's Bailly gone? I don't understand. I think there's a good opportunity. There's a good chance one of the fullbacks might go. Wouldn't surprise me if Tellez goes, or I think Delo will stay. Wan-Bissaka. These are players who are expensive English players in terms of Wan-Bissaka, Maguire. Maguire's not going to go. But again, if we get a good centre-back this season in the summer transfer market, he's going to have to play with Varane. Maguire's going to be on the bench. So let's see what happens there. But look, there's talks of Van Persie coming in as well as the assistant for Ten Hag. That's going to be an interesting one, both being Dutch. Van Persie, we know what Van Persie's done for this football club. He was absolutely fantastic when he was here. And in terms of Van Persie being there, I think he'll be fantastic. It'll be phenomenal for a player who's played for us, who's done absolute bits for us. It'll be amazing for Van Persie to come in. But look, in terms of Ten Hag, I just can't wait for it. I can't wait. Look, we got Norwich on Saturday. I'm actually quite shocked that some of these players haven't turned up. Arsenal have lost again. Tottenham have picked up points. We're 6 points away from Tottenham. We're not getting top four. We're just not getting top four. And this is why I think it will affect some of the transfer targets this season. I really think that in the summer we might not be getting the players we think we might be. And yeah, some players might think, oh, this is Manchester United. They'll be in Europa League for one season and we're back on it. But look, Wolves are right behind us. West Ham on the same points as us. Guys, let's see what happens. Look, I'm really excited for Ten Hag to come in. Some of these players being mentioned, I'm excited as well. But let's see what happens till the end of the season. I'll be shocked if we get top four. We've already beat Tottenham, like I said, and they're still 6 points ahead of us. So it shows how poor we've been this season. Still need to beat Arsenal, still need to face Liverpool, still need to face Chelsea. We're not getting top four. We're not. So guys, let me know what you think. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.